Hello students, today we are going to do the second part of power sharing, and I stopped at the point where Sri Lanka was having a civil war. So today I'm going to start with the accommodation in Belgium, from accommodation in Belgium. Now as we know that in the year 1970s till 1993, we have already seen that Belgium was having a diversity in languages, where there were two major groups of peoples, one Dutch group and another one French speaking group, and the capital of Belgium, that is Brussels, was having French speaking as the majority, and whereas in the other part the Dutch speaking was in majority. So now we'll just start with that. Since there are two major groups in two different places, so there was a possibility of having a clash among them. But then this was stopped with a very good model, and that model is called as the Belgian model. Now in the between the year 1970 to 1993, the Constitution of Belgium was amended 4 times, and the reason for amendment is that to have a proper model in which would bring social stability, political stability, economic stability, financial stability to the whole state. So they came up with a Belgian model. And what is this Belgian model? This Belgian model is, now in the central government, the number of ministers who were speaking Dutch, that number was made equal to the number of ministers who were speaking French. So in the central government, we see that powers was equally distributed, and both were having equal numbers of ministers, the Dutch speaking and the French speaking, equal number of Dutch speaking as well as French speaking ministers. Similarly, in the state government, that is the capital of Brussels, we know that French was in majority, French speaking was in majority. Since the central government gave equal distribution in the number of ministers, so the state government also, they gave equal powers to both the communities, and in doing so we see that the state government is no more subordinate to the central government. The state government holds equal powers as the central government, so there is no supremacy of anyone. The central government is not supreme to the state government, neither the state government is supreme to the central government. So there is equal distribution of powers among the two. So this was a very good model with no supremacy in any of the places. And the third type, they introduced a third type of government, which was called as the community government. So one, we have the state government, second we have the central government, and the third was the community government. Now what was this community government? Community government means that community government is elected by the people, and the community government is on the basis of language, and they will look after all cultural, educational and language related problems. So this is basically for the minorities. The people who are in a minority, they should not be left aloof, and so they had another form of government which will look after into all these issues, and which was the community government. Now this form of government, that means the Belgian government, was very successful, and because it was so successful that European Union made Brussels as their headquarter. So this is 1 mark question which you can get, and CBSE normally frames the question from this, that what is the headquarter. So Brussels or Belgium is the headquarter for the European Union. Okay, now what was the advantage of this Belgian model? The advantage of this Belgian model was, we just saw that since in Sri Lanka the Sinhalas were in majority, and they denied to give any power to the Tamils, and because of that there was civil war. It ended up into a civil war. But with the Belgian model, there was no clash on the basis of language, because both the languages community people were getting equal powers. So there was no clash on the basis of language, and there was no civil war. So I hope you have understood the accommodation of Belgian. What was the accommodation done? Now we will see that why power sharing is important. Now, why do we need the sharing of power? Sharing of power is power sharing means you have to share the power. Okay, so the word only describes that power should be shared. Now, if power is shared, it is definitely going to reduce down the conflicts. And if the conflicts are not there, then there will be no fights and violence, and that will bring the political stability also. It will bring social stability as well as the political stability. Now this basically power sharing is done basically because of two reasons. The two reasons are, the first one is the moral reason, because it is ethically right to share the power. Power sharing is good, so power should be shared. It is morally right. So moral reason, first is the moral reason that power sharing is good, so we should share the power. And secondly is the prudential reason. Now what do you understand by the word prudential? Now prudential means using calculating the gains and the losses, and then in a very intelligent way you come up to a decision. So prudential means deciding anything after a lot of studies in an intelligent way. Okay, now when things are done prudentially, that is by using of intelligence, obviously the results are going to be better. It will be better than the others if decisions are taken after giving it a second thought, or after taking evaluation of everything. Their results are going to be better compared to when decisions are taken without thinking. Okay, so prudential reasons, it is for the better results, and secondly that will reduce all sorts of conflicts, the social conflicts and the political conflicts. Okay, now another thing, now if we are having political power sharing, then in that case there will be no supremacy of any of the groups. So there will be no supremacy of majoritarians on the minoritarians, and if there is no supremacy of majoritarians on minoritarians, then there will be no dissatisfaction among the minoritarians, and there will be no revolts or struggles to bring down the majoritarians. So again this will finally lead to peace. So we have seen 2 points, that social conflicts are reduced, the political conflicts instability is reduced, and there is no supremacy of majoritarians on the minoritarians. Now we have to see third thing why power sharing is important is that it keeps the essence of democracy. Now what do you understand by democracy? Democracy means any government by the people's consent. So government is formed by people's consent. And how is that government formed by people's consent? Normally people choose the people, their leaders by elections, and that is how they get a majority and they form the government. Now when a government is formed, the MPs of they make laws, and making laws is called as is done by the legislative, and then when the laws are made, those laws should be implemented, that is done by the executive. So we have the executive member is there, and in case there is any problem, then the judiciary system is there to finally see and resolve the problems of legislative and executive. So this is the essence of democracy. Now this essence of democracy is kept when the power is shared, so this essence of democracy is kept. Okay, now so this brings us to 3 important points of power sharing. What does power sharing do? Why do we need it? We need it on 2 grounds. One is the moral ground, one is the prudential ground, and it reduces down the social conflict. It reduces the political instability or instability, and there is no supremacy of majoritarians on the supreme minoritarians, and the power sharing keeps the essence of democracy.